Internet. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2026. I'm here in the Debateless studio in Austin, Texas, and I was hoping today, this is our second briefing now, news rundown. I was hoping that the news would be a little less intense today, but life in America in the 21st century, I don't know if I'm going to get very many of those. At least I have a little bit more variety today as well. We got a little local news here in Austin, Texas. I have, Kentucky's primary race, a lot of eyes on that one, worth discussing. An unfortunate shooting in San Diego, and the Poo Poo man in Toronto. So let's start with our local activity going on here in Austin. The big story is that all over the weekend, a crew of 3 Hispanic teens went around the south side of Austin distributing diversity via approximately a dozen shootings. Fortunately, they were terrible shots and nobody was killed. 4 were injured. Classic Edgar haircut looking dudes. All minors aged 15, 16, and 17 all have been detained or taken into custody. Now, like I said earlier, we here in Debateless are based in Austin, so I got the alert for this. And I'll tell you a little background on me. I'm not from here. I have lived in Nebraska for the most of my life. I've only been here outside of Nebraska living for a few months. I ain't used to this, man. I miss it. It's a lot safer back there. The only alerts I'd be getting are for like tornado warnings. And I don't know, since I've been here, I've probably gotten 8, 9, 10 of them. This isn't the first shooting related incident that has gone on since I've arrived here. I miss Nebraska. We'll get more into that when I do Disclosed Nation, kind of who even am I? Why am I here? What is my objective? I'll get more to that in Disclosed Nation. Now, it's also worth noting that these kids, they got their guns illegally, like most criminals do. They will most likely get weak charges as well because they are minors, even though they will undoubtedly bring more terror on the streets of in Austin in the future, which, of course, it's the wild, wild west down here, man. Like I said, I ain't used to this yet. Now, on to more Austin tomfoolery, more Austin fun. We got Patrick Sweeney, a repeat offender who has previously been charged with meth possession, burglary, and trespassing, adds another tally to his criminal record by sprinting across the University of Texas campus, I believe naked, chasing young women jogging, to then ultimately masturbating in a library parking lot, like upstanding citizens do. Now, he's been arrested 44 times already. 44 times. 0 jury trials, by the way. And many are pointing to the weak and spineless District Attorney Jose Garza for good reason. This is simply the results you get when you have public officials acting based on race favoritism. That is mostly what I see floating around the talks about this. And I just wonder, is this what you wanted in Travis County? All but 4 states in the country vote for their DAs, if you didn't know that. Alaska, Delaware, Connecticut, New Jersey are those exempt. So, more of this type of activity is just going to keep going on unless something changes. You guys voted for this guy. I wasn't here for this. Okay, I wasn't here. I believe it was in 2024 when this guy got sworn in. And you're stuck with him until 2028. Hell, I'm stuck with him until 2028. I'm not exempt from that anymore. So hopefully by 2028, and then next election, we get this Garza guy out, because this is ridiculous. 44 times? Are you kidding me? Anyway, speaking of elections, in Kentucky, people will be casting votes in the primaries tomorrow. A lot of eyes on that one. Trump-backed Ed Gowring is taking on Thomas Massie, the incumbent of Kentucky's 4th Congressional District. As of right now, it's appearing to be a tight race with a near coin flip of odds. This is a big deal because Thomas Massie has spoken out against Trump several times in history, and Trump has made it his mission to take him down. Been very loud about it. So why? Well, let's get into it. Massie, for starters, has been one of the loudest voices against Israel and repeatedly called for the full release of the Epstein files. He's also been calling for AIPAC to be registered as a foreign lobby. Now, if you ask me, these are good things. We clearly have an unhealthy relationship with Israel. And whatever you believe about the Epstein files, it's been a mess. Again, I'll get more into that into Disclosed Nation as well. It should be known that whatever was going on there, it was a blackmail operation. It was to lock down control over public officials and other people in power. And AIPAC, how are they not already considered a foreign lobby? American Israel Public Affairs Committee? I mean, come on. It's like in the name. Main incentive for them right now is to have us fight Iran on behalf of their country. I know this has been floating around for several months, years at this point. Not the Iran thing. The Iran thing's more new, but just Israel, AIPAC in general. But it's still worth questioning even now. Now, if you were a single issue voter, and that issue is getting Israeli operatives out of our government, the choice should be clear. But this is where he takes a hit, and why it's a coin flip is stuff like this right here. Time and time again, Maaske has countered proposals to strengthen the border and combat Great Replacement. He has voted to defund ICE. He also recently had a whole ordeal about being worried about minorities being able to get guns because of background checks. Very libertarian of him. And also in the year 2026, counter-signaling Trump hard, loudly like he does, doesn't immediately bring success. You have to remember a lot of older people will still vote today, and that the whole anti-Israel Reddit connects primarily to young people like myself. I call this the Thomas Massie dilemma. There's also the Randy Fine dilemma, both opposites on views on Israel and Great Replacement. And again, we'll get more into that into Disclosed Nation in further detail in the near future. But where I want you to avert your attention to, on this at least, is in Florida. You got James Fishbeck. He also classifies as what they have been calling an America First candidate. Within 10% of polling to his opponent, by the way, Byron Donalds, who has had a ton of Trump backing and funding, by the way, but he's still within 10%. He also has until August to tighten it further. Fishbeck has a lot more time. Massie is tomorrow. Fishbeck himself, well-spoken, very proactive, great energy. Dude is everywhere at once, it feels like. He will fill up a gas station parking lot on a random Wednesday night. He is extremely popular, and I don't think that train is slowing down. Fishbeck may end up being the model candidate in the future when looking at those against foreign lobbying and against Great Replacement. I just thought I would throw that in there because I'm rooting for him. Obviously, I can't vote for any of these people that I'm talking about because I'm currently in Texas, but definitely worth keeping your eyes on there. Massie, of course, has also been taking blows from various hit pieces left and right in recent history aimed at his character, but we will find out tomorrow how that race shapes out, a situation definitely worth monitoring. Now, this next one is more breaking news in San Diego. As of right now, a mosque shooting had just taken place at time of this recording. City was on lockdown, just like it was in Austin this weekend. The threats appear to have been neutralized with 3 reported dead so far. There are no names of the perpetrators yet. We do have ages now, finally, 17 and 19, but no names. Coulter's Law is kind of coming to mind here, but I could be wrong. I am biased, but wouldn't be surprised if the weapons were also illegally obtained. More chaos in this country to monitor as the day goes on. Thought I'd throw this one in here, even though it's still unfolding. I'm sure we will find out more by tomorrow. And then, of course, pray for the victims. This is a just straight up tragedy. You know, no one likes seeing this sort of thing. Now, I'll end it with a goofier story here. You know, a little bit more, disgusting and uncalled for, but we can call this goofy. I mean, it's gross. I'll just get into it. In Toronto, hi Canada, miss me? Samuel Opoku, a.k.a. the Poo Poo man, can't make this shit up. I'm not kidding. That is what he is known for. But he just got arrested for the sexual assault of 2 women. This particular case is relevant because back in 2019, this is where he gets his name, he was arrested for filling buckets full of feces and piss and dumping them on women and children multiple times. Hell, we even got donations to free him at the time. He got it was a change.org or GoFundMe type of ordeal to get him out of jail, because of course he did, because racism or whatever. Racism of the white man made him fill up a bucket full of shit and piss and throw it on people. Thought the brainwashed, indoctrinated Canadian. In Canada, hi. I know we have our own problems here in the U.S. I'm aware. You guys, I'm going to keep pounding on you guys. You're pathetic when it comes to this activity. Embarrassingly pathetic. Why was this guy on the streets? Buckets full of shit and piss getting thrown on people. You guys wanted him out? Of course, his lawyer pleaded. He was insane back in 2019, aka he was too retarded to stand trial. Got out of jail 3 weeks after, or got out of jail after 3 weeks with a $1,000 bail. Never really faced consequences. I'll just call back to Chud the Builder here too. Chud the Builder has $1.25 million bail. This guy gets out for a rack. Make it make sense. So of course, here he is again, the Poo Poo man, in jail for sexual assault. Does he stay there long? Probably not. Canada is just, unfortunately, overall a disgrace when it comes to this sort of thing. And they should honestly be used as a model on what not to do. I'll pound into them further. They deserve their loss in the Olympics, the hockey game, never forget. They deserve their Stanley Cup drought, too. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1993. I thought that was supposed to be their sport. You are rightfully cursed. The Habs are cooked. Even if they beat the Sabres tonight, the Canes are going to whop you. Just save yourself while you still have the time, Canada. Just please, I'm begging you, Canada. Please save yourselves. Anyway, that's all I got today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. It's been the Debateless News. We went over a little local action, a little primary action, going over to San Diego, unfortunately, and Canada just for some goofs. Follow me on X at Jake Maaske, JakeMaaske. Disclosed Nation will be coming out soon. I'm going to do my own activity there, cultural, societal issues. Going to have some fun with it. Talk a little bit about music, things that I like to do. Like I said in the first episode, this first segment on Friday, not trying to be the guy with a stick up his ass. So I want to have a little fun here, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about me as well, because, who is this guy? Anyway, appreciate you being here. Hope you have a good rest of your evening, and stay blessed.